You can hear the heavy, ragged breathing echoing in the still darkness. Beside the simple bed, a frail woman with snow-white hair is struggling to sit up. Her eyes are tightly closed in pain, her trembling fingers clutching the bed frame. She has fallen. An unexpected fall in the quiet of the night, and now she is completely helpless. The phone is out of reach, and her cries for help are swallowed by the cold walls. She has called her son and daughter, but no one answers. The clock ticks, each second passing like an eternity. Fear and loneliness engulf her, a bitter lump in her throat. This is not a scene from a sad movie, but the harsh reality many older adults face when the support system they once trusted seems to vanish. Do you want yourself or your loved ones to end up in a similar situation? If the answer is no, make sure you don't miss the important information we are about to share. Please click the red subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell so that we can bring you valuable knowledge, helping you build a safer and more self-reliant future. When you are 60 and beyond, who will truly be by your side? When you are young, the answer seems clear: family, close friends, friends you've known for years. But as you step into your 60s, reality starts to look a little different. Life changes, people get busy, priorities shift, and suddenly you realize that the support system you always believed in might not be as reliable as you once thought. In this article, we will explore 7 essential pillars that become more dependable than family as you get older. This isn't about pushing people away, but about understanding where true stability comes from and ensuring you don't end up vulnerable when you need support the most. When you build a solid foundation based on these 7 pillars, you will gain the security and independence to overcome life's challenges. Let's explore these pillars, because they can completely change the way you think about support and help you never feel helpless, lonely, or unprepared again. Now, let's get started. Pillar number 1, solid financial stability, your most reliable companion. The most reliable support you can have is not a person, but your own financial independence. Money may not buy happiness, but it buys security, freedom, and peace of mind. The older you get, the more you realize that relying on family for financial help is not a plan, but a risk. Your children have their own lives, their own expenses, and their own families to care for. Even if they love you deeply, they may not always be able to help when you need it most. Think about Robert, a 72-year-old man who always thought his children would help him if he faced financial difficulties. He supported them through college, lent them money when they needed it, and was always there when they called. But when an unexpected health issue depleted his savings, he turned to his children for help, only to realize that they were also struggling with mortgages, bills, and their own financial hardships. It wasn't because they didn't care, but because life is unpredictable. One son had just lost his job, and his daughter was raising 2 young children after a divorce. Their own financial burdens were already significant, and Robert didn't want to become an additional burden. He felt disappointed and lonely, realizing that the financial security he once thought was a given was no longer there. Why is financial stability one of the strongest pillars you can build? It's not about having a lot of money, but about being prepared. It's about having a plan for emergencies, a stable source of income you can rely on, and understanding how to manage your finances so you don't have to depend on anyone else to get by. If you are over 60, it's time to ask yourself, do I have enough savings to cover unexpected expenses? Is my retirement income secure? Have I minimized my financial liabilities? The risk of finding yourself in a difficult situation is high if the answer is no. The time to act is now. Learn how to manage your spending wisely, create a detailed budget and stick to it. Avoid unnecessary debt, especially high-interest consumer loans. Research and invest in things that provide long-term stability, such as secure retirement funds or real estate if it fits your capabilities. Seek advice from reputable financial professionals to create a plan that suits your individual circumstances. Because in the end, your financial security is what will always be there for you, no matter what life throws your way. It gives you autonomy, choices, and the ability to cope with unexpected events without worrying about becoming a burden to others. Pillar number 2, physical health, the foundation of freedom and independence. There is one thing in life that no amount of love, money, or support from others can replace, and that is your health. After 60, your body starts to change. It can become your greatest ally, allowing you to enjoy life to the fullest, or it can become your biggest obstacle, limiting what you can do and making you dependent on others. The truth is, you can have all the financial security in the world, but if your health fails, your freedom disappears. Even if your family cares about you, they can't exercise for you, they can't eat right for you, and they certainly can't stop the aging process for you. That responsibility lies entirely in your hands. Too many people take their health for granted, assuming that when the time comes, someone will be there to take care of them, but the reality is that even if your family loves you dearly, they have their own lives, and they may not have the time, energy, or ability to care for you comprehensively. Relying on others to manage your health can leave you feeling helpless and stripped of your self-reliance. That's why prioritizing your health right now is one of the most important investments you can make in your future. Consider the story of Charles, a 68-year-old man who was always active in his younger years but neglected himself after retirement. He thought he had plenty of time to get back in shape, but before he knew it, his energy levels had plummeted. He started feeling tired even after the simplest activities. His mobility significantly decreased, and simple tasks like walking to the store or tending his garden became increasingly difficult. His children visited when they could, but they couldn't be there every day to help him with personal care. Eventually, he realized that if he wanted to maintain his independence and enjoy his later years to the fullest, he had to take control of his health, not tomorrow, not next year, but right now. You don't need to train like a professional athlete, but small, consistent efforts will make a big difference. Move your body every day, even if it's just a gentle walk, yoga, or joining senior fitness classes. Eat foods that nourish you instead of fast food and processed meals. Drink enough water and get adequate sleep. Don't take regular health checkups lightly, and listen to your body. If you've been ignoring warning signs like shortness of breath, persistent aches and pains, or changes in weight, it's time to stop and not dismiss them. Your future self will thank you for every healthy decision you make today. Ultimately, your strongest support system is not your children, siblings, or friends, but your own ability to stay healthy, active, and capable. The more you prioritize your health now, the less you will have to depend on others later. Pillar number 3, a rich social network where joy and connection thrive. One of the biggest mistakes people make as they get older is isolating themselves. It can happen gradually. Friends move away for work or family, loved ones pass away due to the natural course of life, and before you realize it, your circle of friends has become smaller than you ever imagined. The problem is, without strong friendships and meaningful relationships, loneliness will creep in like an insidious tide, eroding your mental and physical well-being. Loneliness, especially after 60, is truly dangerous. It not only affects your emotions, leading to depression and anxiety, but it also negatively impacts your physical health, impairs cognitive function, and can even shorten your lifespan. You might think that family will always be there to keep you company, but the truth is, your children have their own lives, their own jobs, families, and busy responsibilities. They may love you very much, but they cannot be your sole source of companionship, social interaction, and fun. That's why one of the most important anchors you can have is your social network, people who regularly care about you, share your joys and sorrows, and give you a sense of belonging. Whoever brings laughter into your life, whoever brings positive energy into your world, those relationships are not a luxury but a necessity. Consider the case of Mary, a 73-year-old woman who always relied on her family for friendship and social connection. She had 2 loving sons, but over time, they became busy with their careers and raising their own children in different cities. They still called regularly, but the daily visits and weekend get-togethers became increasingly infrequent and rare. Mary started feeling lonely, waiting for calls that didn't always come, and her days became long and monotonous. Then she decided to make a change, becoming more proactive in building and maintaining social connections. She started reconnecting with old friends she hadn't seen in a while, joined community groups with shared interests like a book club and a senior dance class, and even tried new hobbies like painting and participating in short day trips, which helped her meet more people. Suddenly, her life was filled with interesting conversations, hearty laughter, and a clear sense of purpose. She didn't have to wait for her family to feel connected and loved. She built those relationships herself. Genuine friendships, vibrant community groups, and even everyday social interactions provide you with something invaluable, a sense of belonging, a feeling of being heard and appreciated. Whether it's a neighbor you regularly chat with, a book club you attend, or a local volunteer group, these relationships are the threads that connect you to the outside world. There are people in your life, beyond your family, who will build a strong foundation of emotional support for you. The more relationships you cultivate now, the more support and companionship you will have in the future. So, ask yourself, who brings joy, comfort, and a sense of being yourself into your life right now? If the answer isn't clear or the list is too short, it's time for you to actively expand your circle of friends. Join social activities, seek out people with common interests, and don't hesitate to strike up conversations with those around you. Because, ultimately, a strong social network isn't just about having friends, it's about having people who lift you up during tough times, remind you of your worth, and make every stage of life richer and more meaningful. Pillar number 4, a clear sense of purpose, the guiding light for your soul. Purpose is one of the most often overlooked sources of support in life. It's not another person, but your own feeling of purpose and meaning in your life. After 60, many people start to feel a significant shift in their lives. The roles that once brought meaning and fulfillment, such as being a parent, dedicating yourself to a career, or caring for others, gradually fade. Upon retirement, children become independent and have their own lives. The pace of life slows down, and daily routines change. Without a clear direction and a goal to strive for, you can easily feel like you are no longer valuable, needed, or even lost in your own life. The truth is, no matter how much your family loves you, they cannot give you a sense of purpose. That's something you must discover and build for yourself. Building a reason to wake up in the morning, whether it's a burning passion, an exciting personal project, or a specific goal, will keep your mind sharp, your emotions stable, and your life more fulfilling and meaningful. It's what keeps you connected to the world around you, giving you the motivation to continue learning, growing, and contributing, instead of just watching life pass by from the sidelines. Think about someone like George, a 70-year-old retired engineer. When he left the job he had dedicated his life to, he was happy to finally rest and relax, but after a few months, he started feeling restless, empty, and like something very important was missing from his life. His days became long and monotonous, lacking excitement. His children visited occasionally, but they also had their own lives with work and family. Feeling that his life was gradually becoming meaningless, he decided to take action and seek a new purpose. He started volunteering at a local school, teaching young children how to build simple technical models. Before long, he had a new reason to wake up every morning, something that made him feel valuable, useful, and connected to life. Purpose doesn't necessarily have to come from work. It can be anything that makes you feel alive and passionate. Learning a new skill, sharing your knowledge and experience with others, tending a garden, painting, writing, traveling to explore new lands, participating in community activities, or simply setting personal goals and striving to achieve them. The important thing is to do things that bring you joy, satisfaction, and keep your spirit uplifted and full of energy. If you are feeling that your best days are behind you, then it's time for you to change that way of thinking. Your purpose in life is not something that disappears as you get older. Rather, it continues to evolve and change in new and exciting ways. The more you invest in finding meaning in your daily life, the less you will have to rely on others to find happiness and fulfillment. Because, ultimately, the strongest source of motivation you have is not someone holding your hand, but the fire of passion and desire within you, propelling you forward and allowing you to fully enjoy every moment of life. Pillar number 5, strong emotional resilience, a peaceful harbor in the storm. Life has a way of testing you, no matter how old you are. After 60, the challenges don't stop, they just change form. Friendships may fade over time or due to circumstances, loved ones may pass away, health issues may arise, and sometimes, life can seem lonelier than ever before. The truth is, no matter how much support you have from others, the most reliable source of strength always comes from within you. The ability to adapt to changes, process negative emotions in a healthy way, and find peace in difficult moments is what helps you resiliently move forward, even when circumstances are not as you hoped. Many people rely too heavily on family for emotional support, believing that their children, siblings, or relatives will always be there to comfort, encourage, and help them through tough times. But the reality is that everyone has their own battles to fight, their own burdens and worries. They may not always have the time, energy, or even the capacity to be the source of emotional support you need at the exact moment. That's why building mental strength and emotional resilience is so important. It helps you find strength within yourself instead of constantly seeking it from others. Take the story of Helen, a 75-year-old woman who lost her beloved husband after 40 years of happy marriage. Initially, she completely relied on her children for emotional support, but over time, she realized that while they cared deeply for her, they also had their own families and responsibilities in distant cities. She knew she couldn't expect them to completely fill the void in her heart. Instead of letting sadness and loneliness consume her, she consciously focused on strengthening herself emotionally. She joined a support group for widows, started journaling to release her emotions, and practiced daily gratitude to focus on the positive aspects of her life. Over time, she discovered something powerful. She didn't need others to make her sadness disappear. She had the strength to heal her own heart and find joy in life once again. Emotional resilience is not about suppressing emotions or pretending to be strong all the time. It's about the ability to recognize pain, accept it, process it in a healthy way, and develop positive coping mechanisms that help you navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and strength. This means finding healthy ways to release emotions, whether it's writing, meditating, practicing yoga, seeking help from a therapist, or simply spending time alone to reflect and confront your feelings. It helps you find inner peace instead of depending on others for it. No matter what life throws your way, the ability to stand firmly on your own feet and find strength within is always one of the greatest and most reliable sources of support. The more you develop your emotional resilience, the lighter, more confident, and less affected by external fluctuations you will feel. Don't rely on others to make you feel whole, because ultimately, the person who will always be there for you, through every difficulty and success, is you. Pillar number 6, flexible adaptability, the key to thriving in any circumstance. If there's one truth about life after 60, it's this: nothing stays the same. People change, circumstances change, and the things you once relied on may no longer be as dependable as they once were. The key to thriving and enjoying life to the fullest during this stage is not clinging to the past or old habits, but your own flexible adaptability to the constant changes. Those who struggle during this time are often those who have difficulty accepting change, clinging to what is familiar instead of being open to what is happening and the new possibilities that may arise. But those who know how to adapt, who maintain an open mind and welcome new opportunities and possibilities, will find joy, satisfaction, and even unexpected and exciting experiences, no matter what life brings. Many people believe that once they reach a certain age, they will no longer change, but that thought is dangerous and limiting. It can cause you to miss out on new opportunities to learn, grow, meet interesting people, and discover things that can enrich your life. Adaptability is not just about passively accepting change, it's about actively seeking ways to grow with it. Look at someone like Frank, a 78-year-old man who always relied on in-person friendships to stay socially connected. When many of his friends moved away or passed away, he felt incredibly lost and lonely. He thought that this was perhaps just a normal part of getting older. But instead of completely accepting loneliness and withdrawing, he decided to adapt to the new circumstances. He learned how to use video calling apps to stay in regular contact with family and friends far away, and he joined online discussion groups about topics he was interested in. He even made a few new friends in the process. Instead of letting the changes defeat him, he allowed himself to grow with them. People who are successful and happy after 60 are not necessarily those with the most resources or the strongest external support systems. They are the ones who are not afraid of change, who are not stuck in their old ways, who remain curious about the world around them, and who find ways to adjust no matter what life throws their way. If one door closes, they look for another. If a relationship changes, they find new ways to connect. If old jobs or hobbies no longer fit, they are willing to try different things. Your ability to adapt is one of the greatest pillars that will help you navigate the challenges of life. It allows you to navigate life with resilience, optimism, and confidence. The more you embrace change instead of fearing it, the more you will realize that you are not losing anything, and furthermore, you will discover that each stage of life brings something new and valuable. Pillar number 7, spiritual and interconnection, a priceless source of strength and peace. In the journey of life, especially when crossing the threshold of 60, a profoundly important yet often overlooked pillar of support is your spiritual and interconnection. This isn't necessarily about a specific religion, but rather about finding meaning, purpose, and peace within your own inner world. It is the source of spiritual strength that helps you face difficulties, find solace in losses, and feel connected to something larger than yourself. When major life changes occur, such as the loss of a spouse, children growing up and leaving home, or facing health challenges, a spiritual connection can provide an invaluable source of comfort and strength. It helps you find meaning in difficult experiences, accept what cannot be changed, and maintain a positive attitude even when facing adversity. Think about Eleanor, an 80-year-old woman who has experienced many ups and downs in her life. She lost her husband many years ago, and her children all live far away. However, she always maintains optimism and peace in her soul. Her secret lies in her deep spiritual connection. Every day, she spends time in prayer, meditation, and reading books on philosophy and spirituality. These activities help her feel calm, purposeful, and connected to a greater power. Even in her loneliest moments, she still feels she is not truly alone, because she has faith and peace in her heart. Spiritual and interconnection can be nurtured in many different ways. You can find it in practicing your religion, in meditation and mindfulness, in connecting with nature, in exploring your core values and beliefs, or simply in spending time reflecting and listening to your inner voice. Whichever path you choose, nurturing this connection will provide you with a solid source of inner strength, helping you overcome life's difficulties with calmness and resilience. It also helps you appreciate the present moments, find joy in the little things, and feel a sense of wholeness in life, regardless of external circumstances. Conclusion: building 7 strong pillars for a self-reliant and peaceful future. Ultimately, reaching 60 and beyond is a stage of life that comes with both wisdom and its own unique set of challenges. While family will always hold a special place in your heart, the reality is that the most reliable support you can have lies not just in others, but also within yourself and what you proactively build for your life. The foundation you build for yourself through financial stability ensures you never have to be completely dependent on others to make ends meet. Your physical health determines your ability to maintain freedom and independence in your daily activities. A rich social network keeps you connected, engaged in life, and feeling emotionally fulfilled. A clear sense of purpose provides meaning and direction to your life, no matter your age. Strong emotional resilience helps you stand firm in the face of life's difficulties. Flexible adaptability allows you to thrive and find joy even when things don't go according to plan. And finally, your spiritual and interconnection provides you with a source of strength, peace, and profound meaning in your life. The plan is that if you actively build and strengthen these 7 pillars, you will never feel completely alone, never have to beg for support helplessly, never feel weak in difficult times, or have to wait for someone to rescue you. Because true stability comes not from hoping others will always be there for you, but from knowing that you are prepared to stand on your own 2 feet and face whatever life may bring. Remember, your strength and peace lie within you. Invest your time and effort in building these pillars, and you will be able to enjoy the later years of your life fully, confidently, and meaningfully.